BPL. I'm not 100% sure on that, as I have not recently. I checked last night. I haven't checked today. But I imagine the positioning results will be affected as a direct result of this match, as it is the last match of this season of Blood League. So, we are just waiting on the teams to fill out, and we will be good to go. Okay, we have full rosters, 7-on-7. And it looks like they're just sorting lances and finalizing mechs. Team Optic is, I do believe, the favorite in this matchup, but let's see what the Black Pants Legion has in store for them. Let's see if I can pull up the Blood League tournament. Okay, on tournaments, it's saying Blood League Season 2, but I do believe that is the current tournament. And Team Optic is currently in second with 14 points. Hunters of the Moonlands has 18 points, but they are done already. They've already played their last match. Black Pants Legion is sitting at 5 points currently, so every point matters to them. If they win out, they will be ahead of the European Redcoats as well as Heavy Metal Insurgency. So more will be revealed there. Apparently they are interested in Russell Hogg Viking waifus. I mean, kind of seems death by snoo snoo to me, but, you know, to each their own. We're just waiting on Team 1 to lock right now. Optic is the last one to ready up, as he is the team leader, though it should be his call to make, his decision there. And Team 1 is locked with 2 minutes to spare. Well done, well executed. Now Team 2 just needs to sort out their lances, and I believe we will be good to go. Doing a quick double check. Match time, view mode. We are on Conquest, and full team says no. So I think we are all set. Hopefully we can avoid any caster issues today, as I am prone to having a few. If I sound a bit different, guys, it is because unfortunately I had some dental work done yesterday, and is what it is kind of thing going on. However, I will still do my best to bring to you the wonderful world of MechWarrior Online Blood League tournament action. And we will continue to practice patience here as we're waiting for both teams to lock. It looks like Team 2 has some last minute decision making that they're going to sort through. I'm kind of curious if they're going to continue the trend that I've been seeing on mining, or if we're going to see an actual push. This mining is a very short, small map. I mean, you can definitely run push decks. We've been seeing lots of traders, lots of mid-range laser vomit. Mid-range laser vomit has been the meta, so to speak. It's been one of the go-to things across the maps throughout this tournament. That is definitely come into vogue. However, mining is a very short-range map and is very applicable for the brawl. So I'm kind of curious to see if we're going to have any brawl pushes. I love brawls. I mean, to me, those are just some of the best fights. Versus, you know, just two traders one on each hill on the far end of mining, and Direwolf on one side, a Blood Asper, a Corsair, or a Marauder on the other side, and they're just trading outside of optimal range, and it takes 9 minutes for anything to die. That's just my personal preferences. Some people love those kind of trade fights, love the sniping duel and all the things that get into it. Oh, he should have sidestepped here and then poked, or he should have poked before then, or he should have held the angle after peeking. Some people are really, really into that and enjoy that kind of fight. I myself, I like getting nitty and gritty. I like feeling the backwash of the rockets from my SRMs as they slap the enemy mech into pieces. That is definitely my preferred scenario. But, different strokes for different folks, different flaps for different seagulls, and different pants for the Black Pants Legion, or will it continue to be Black Pants led by the man with no pants? Apparently, Seagull has stolen the fries of Ralphie No Pants. I do have to be curious, as the man currently now has no French fries and no pants. Seems like a rough day. Team 2 is showing full ready. Team 2 locked like a misbehaving dog. Wonderful. We are a go. And make sure I get the scene transition right. Yes, yes. This is a professional grade cast. Yes. Big shout out to all the other casters who are volunteering for Blood League tournaments. This is entirely a volunteer vocation, guys. None of us see anything extra or any other wizardry in the background. It's just a bunch of fellow mech warriors doing our best to bring you live coverage. And now we are in mining. We have the good luck, have funds. And hopefully I can press all the wonderful buttons correctly and get us the action we need to see. Guys, do note it is a conquest map, so points are important and is not about only the kills. So captures, especially the fight over Theta, is a pretty big deal here. The different sides, Team 1 versus Team 2 here, do have their own unique advantages, especially concerning Theta, because from our side over here, you can shoot in between the buildings and have easier control over Theta. Whereas if you start over here, you do not have that advantage. This giant wall here does limit what the team can do as far as controlling Theta. They need to utilize different angles. Alright, so let's see if I can get into a cockpit and start going over some of the mechs. We have Misslings by Tonelok. And the chat is not letting me see things, but that appears to be Tactics and a Viper. We're looking at a Keeper. This is looking pretty brawly. Vapor Eagles, SRMs, LB20s, Crusaders. I'm actually going to just scroll through real fast to give you guys a quick look, because I'm looking at brawl decks from both teams here. This is going to look pretty nasty pretty quick. Noting the Night Cheer is DACA, so it's not pure brawl by Team Optic, as Optic Seagull is utilizing the UX on the Night Cheer. But we're looking at a lot of brawl mechs in general. Currently up for the Team Optic on caps. They are controlling the right side here fairly well. They do have one mech capping on his own here. That would be Cypher, already going for the back cap, as BPL is kind of isolated here. They're going for Theta transition here for Theta control, but Zauri should have already spotted this in his mislinks. He's jump jetting to the high ground to further spot, so Team Optic knows they're there. They're already starting to take some damage from the large lasers there. They are in a rough position here. This is a very rough position for BPL, as even though they have secured the middle cap, the strong position of Theta, they are only 2 caps against the Sky Rangers 3. So the prerogative, the onus, the need to make a move is entirely on BPL. Team Optic can just hold the high ground here and fight. Zauri in the low ground may get caught out. He does seem to have been noticed, but Team Optic is just abusing the high ground. There it is. They know he's on the low ground. The call was made. You can see all of BPL just pouring after the mislinks. They are taking a lot of back shots here. The call was made to pull off. No need to squirrel. They have refocused. They are still taking a lot of damage coming in here. Some of the mechs are going back to mid. Some are going to the back line to wrap around, it appears. Are they going to make the jump? Alright, we have the Viper up, we have the Mistlink up, we have the Crusader up. They're going to brawl and fight for the high ground here, but there's an Exy up here. That Chirby is going to say, no, 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 this is my territory and you are not welcome here. Pants or no pants, I have something for you. They are trading back and forth. It does appear, though, that Team Optic is winning these trades, as only the Vapor Eagle has sustained any serious damage, and he finally is taken down, so BPL is able to tie it up. They seem to be jockeying for position, but the Firestarter from Cypher's coming back in. Zauri's coming in with them. They are going to hit him from the side. Meanwhile, Ralphie No Pants, the Crusader, is on the run with Fronting, hunting him down. And he is popped. Meanwhile, Papa Spud takes out the Hedgehog. BPL's Aiden Desir is trying to contest the position there, but he is in trouble. He is being chased down. BPL is dropping left and right. It is now 2 versus 6. They finally got Fronting down. Weaver, last man standing. And that'll do it for round 1. Well fought. I think it was a very good call to try to take, because both teams brought brawl, right? Like, your goal here is to brawl. So I feel it was a good idea to try to take the fight to them on top of the Citadel. It just wasn't quite in sync. They had some of the mechs going to the ramp here, and they had some of the mechs going here. It feels like they were not able to focus their fire as much as they needed to. Like, you can see fairly even damage spread across BPL here, but the damage just wasn't on the same targets, whereas Team Optic does seem to have focused fire a bit more. And that Doc and Night Gear, and BPL jumped into the arms of that Chirby. That Exy was ready and waiting for him and gave him a nice hug. So they kind of played into Team Optic's strengths there. Well, we will switch back to the lobby as the teams get ready for round 2, and we will switch the maps, because, you know, that's kind of an important thing to do to make sure we're playing the next map, which would be Crimson Strait. So hopefully I can get that sorted out here. Crimson Strait is one of the weird ones in that you have 2 natural caps on each side that are easy for both teams to grab. You know, on one side you got Gamma and Epsilon. On the other side you got Sigma and Kappa. Both caps are very easy to get and hold. You know, for one side it's easy to hold Gamma behind the mountain. You can cover Epsilon and Gamma from that mountain. And on the opposite side, Kappa's behind buildings, easy to hold. Sigma, you can get sightlines from the mountain behind Kappa, or even from the platform in Fox 5. That said, though, you have the Theta cap, and it's like something that is either game-changing or it's completely ignored. Because once Theta's capped, it takes a lot of time for a mech to get over the saddle, to get back and take Theta back, and it's very disadvantageous to do so, as that mech is not in the fight. It's spending a lot of time just running. Even if it's a Flea or a Spider with cap accelerator, it takes a lot of time to make that transition, and that's time that the mech's not in the fight. So some teams prefer to just ignore it and go for the fight itself and worry about the caps later. But being up 3 caps, if you're the team that has, you know, 2 of those home caps and the Theta cap, it means the enemy team has to come to you, or they have to deal with that cap and potentially fight a 6 vs 7 engagement, because their capper's still over there at Theta. So it is a nice advantage to have if you can get away with it without being punished to maintain that 3-cap lead. Some teams like to keep a mech in saddle positioning, kind of Fox 7, or kind of just on top of the platform in the Fox 5 area just to keep an eye on saddle, so they can kind of keep an eye on Theta, or at least prevent a mech from easily transitioning through the saddle, or if it does, you're at least going to know it's there. So that might be the turning point, but I've seen in the lower divisions a lot of the fights have just been over the island. The island is a strong position out in the water that gives a lot of sight lines that can be really abused. Then again, it could just be another brawl push. That was an excellent, excellent thing to see, all the SRMs and LB20s flying. I really feel that if BPL just had slightly better coordination jumping up and synchronizing their targets a little bit better there, that fight could have easily gone the other way. If that executioner was prioritized, if the night gear piloted by Optic wasn't given that much time on target, it could have been an entirely different match. And now we are locked for Team 1. It is now up to Team 2 to sort out their lances. They're getting things situated here. Interesting spread by Team 1. They could be doing a split kind of thing. One person watching behind the mountain while the rest are getting Kappa and sending, I would guess, Cypher to go cap Theta is what I would expect from them. I am curious as to whether or not Black Pants Legion is going to put any priority on Theta, or if they're just going to go for the fight again. On mining, they went straight for the brawl. Could we see that again? There's been a few teams that did run it, just push straight to the island, use the island as cover for the final distance to just run at the enemy and bring the fight to them. For those of you just joining, this is Division G, Team Optic of the Sky Rangers of Terra, SRoT, versus BPL, the Black Pants Legion. This is Division G of Blood League. This is round 5. Currently, Team Optic is sitting at, I do believe, 14 points for Division G, and is 4 points away of tying up with the Hunters of the Moonlands. Hunter of the Moonlands are currently ranked 1 in Division G. So if Team Optic is able to secure 4 points here, they will tie with them. And if they secure 5, they will be number 1 with 19 points, if I'm not wrong. Somebody in chat can correct me if I'm getting my math messed up. And this is also kind of a big deal for Black Pants Legion as well, because Heavy Metal Insurgency and European Redcoats have yet to play their final match, but they are trailing those two teams by a few points. So getting some wins on the board here could also reflect their placement for the division. Regardless, always want to fight, always want to see the mechs tear each other to pieces, because that's what we're all here for, right? We all show up to watch metal action. We like the explosions. We like seeing the mech fall down off a cliff when it dies and do the little break dance. We like seeing the Gauss rifle plick away at the light's leg. We like seeing the guy turn around the corner and take the AC-20 to the face. We're here for the mech action. Or at least I am. That's why I show up. I can only assume you guys like something you're seeing here. You're considering you're here. But who knows? I'm seeing everybody's ready. Did I miss a lock? Team 1 is locked. Team 2, it looks like everybody's ready, but I do not see a lock yet. Team 2 locked up like the guys in Hedge a Song. All right, fair enough. 3, 2, and a 1. And we are taking out to Crimson straight for round 2 of Division G Blood League. I wonder if they're going to do a pocket pick here. This is one of the places where you could do that crazy pocket pick Lerm strat. Because, if you catch somebody transitioning to the island, they can get wrecked. And Team Optic actually has done that before. They have brought Lerms to Crimson Strait before. So this could be another one of those situations. I do believe they had a Fafnir with LRMs. They had a light mech with narcs that went towards the Gamma area. I believe it was piloted by Cypher, and the Fafnir was piloted by SRoT on that round. I could be wrong. Kind of just going from memory here, and my memory is not the greatest. We have the good luck, have fun, and let's see how this one's going to turn out. Just for reference, if you weren't familiar with the map, this is the island I was referring to, and the position over here is the one we refer to as the saddle. And as you can see on the map in the bottom left, how far away that theta cap is from everything else. You know, the teams have the natural Kappa and Sigma caps that are easy to grab and easily to defend. Epsilon over here is a little harder to defend, but Gamma is very easy to defend on this side. So those are the natural caps. Both teams hopefully should be picking those up quickly after the match starts. Looks like we're waiting on a connection. There we go.
Reactor online.
Okay, Ralphie No Pants and Crusader 6T, that is Brawl. All small lasers, Hedgehog, medium pulses, also Brawl with a Griffin Sparky, Hunchback 4SB, SRMs and small pulse by Artos. Much Brawl, Battlemaster, medium pulses. This is a speedy assault and a charger, another speedy assault. That is looking Brawl. Sky Rangers are going to have small pulse lasers and a fire starter. That is Brawl. Stormcrow also running Brawl. Interesting. Light PPCs and a narc from Toneloke on a Raven. UX on the Mad Cat. They are looking very ready to receive. SRoT again with the LRMs and the Fafnir. Papa Spud is already firing off with the LB2s and the Riflemans, which is quite a comfort pick for him. He is already contesting their positioning here at hyper long range, and rounding things out, the Hunchback with LRMs as well. I am gonna go high here and bring the info back up on the screen for you guys. Looks like Black Pants is transitioning to hold the saddle, recognizing the importance of this position. I imagine they're going to send the Mistlinks out to grab Theta. However, the Sky Rangers have not grabbed Theta at all. It looks like they're just lined up to receive. I think they were expecting Black Pants to push again. And while BPL is definitely running a push deck, they are not pushing into the Rangers. They are running full over the saddle and eating some missiles and some duck in the process. However, they are still pretty healthy. They did take minimal damage. That is more intimidating than it is effective, the shots that were landing there, as all the mechs are still above 90%. The Charger did take a little more damage than I'm sure it would like at that point, though. Team Optic is now transitioning. They are definitely aware of the disadvantage that having that 3 cap up on them presents, so they're transitioning. They are going to control the island, they are going to take Kappa, they are going to take Sigma, and swing the cap advantage to their side. Meanwhile, BPL is transitioning around the mountain. They are outside of the tunnel. They have not gone in yet. They could utilize the path through the tunnel or the overland route to take Gamma and try to swing the caps again. It looks like the Rangers are kinda expecting this though, as Optic Seagull is getting in position to have sight lines on both Gamma and Epsilon. However, Team Optic is very spread. And that Hunchback, it has 2 small lasers, small pulses for backups, but if he gets caught here, BPL could just rush over and delete him before the rest of the Rangers could really react to it. But it looks like they're all just trying to cap Gamma together. That is capping really quickly, so I think that's a numbers plus cap accelerator going on there. I could be wrong, but lord, did they cap that fast. They are still down in caps though. They need Epsilon as well, Epsilon being the easiest cap given their current positioning, but they have eyes on them. The Sky Rangers are utilizing the high ground positions and the different angles from the island to get sight lines. They are being spotted as well by Tone Loke and the Raven. If he lands a narc on him, he's going to have them dead to rights no matter where they go anyway. That narc ticks forever and gives so much radar info. Interesting that they're sending some through the tunnel, but keeping 2 outside here. It's quite an interesting translation. I'm not sure why you would keep 2 mislinks outside. Maybe they're expecting some kind of push behind them, but they're now going to fully push the tunnel. The Raven seems aware of this. They were probably spotted on seismic. The Stormcrow's ready to do some damage as well. They are eating DACA on their transition here. I imagine that is both Papa Spud. Oh, and the LRMs are coming in. I don't think the LRMs can do much damage here, as the platform does give them cover to this, but the Stormcrow and the Raven are trailing them. They know exactly where all of them are. It looks like their decision was to go for Kappa. That said, though, they are getting Gamma back. The Sky Rangers are getting Gamma back. And they should be able to take Kappa here. The Raven's not going to be able to really dissuade them from that. I mean, he could drop an Arnie strike and slow it down, but that many mechs on target. Unfortunately, they are taking a beating for it. That Battlemaster is already under 79%. The Charger is at 76, and still taking damage from the Artie strikes. The Artie strike is well timed in delaying this cap. They are paying with armor to secure Kappa, and it is just a sliver Kappa. It could be easily flipped by anybody on Team Optic's side. And they are now going to be taking more artillery strike damage as the Rangers just keep delivering the missiles, keep delivering the DACA, keep delivering the Artie. Black Pants is going to take a pounding here. It looks like the decision was made to transition to Sigma. Oh, the Battlemaster's on the outside, though. They're going to get lock info from that. He needs to be running along the hill here with the rest of his team. Unfortunate. Taking this street path here, I believe, is what cost him his life there, as there's not enough cover. It gives way too much time for those missiles to get their targets. Meanwhile, this Raven is just giving them locks. He is just like their shadow. That Raven, from that positioning on the high ground of the platform, has been stalking them throughout this match. The Crusader looks like it wants to go and bring the fight to them. He's making the push. The Mislinks is behind him. He does have some backup with the Charger, but those small lasers aren't in range yet. The Crusader's finally getting damage on target, but he's already dead. The Mislinks is closing in now, but that Mad Cat's just going to keep going backwards and keep delivering the DACA. The Charger is down to 58%. He's going to be deleted before he even gets into range, as the missiles pouring him on him as well. Papa Spud's getting a flanking position on the Hunchback in the rear. The Charger is still eating damage. How is the man still alive? He is getting hit front, left, right, and center. He finally drops down. The Mislinks is finally on the Mad Cat, hitting his rear torso. However, the Sky Rangers are hitting him from both sides here. The Raven's still coming up from behind, who's been stalking him as a shadow the entire match. The Griffin is ready to pop. The Mislinks was able to secure the Mad Cat, I believe. They did finally take out the big DACA mech, but is it enough? I think it's too little too late, as the Hunchback is about to go down. The Mislinks is spinning circles around the Stormcrow. Sorry, doesn't know which way to look. He is keeping them busy, but meanwhile, the rest of Team Optic is punishing this Hunchback. As much time as Star Commander is giving the rest of his team, it's not being taken advantage of, as they are the only mechs left. Weaver is the last man standing. Weaver, meanwhile, is under the platform. It looks like it was maybe a call for him to go be sneaky. Maybe they thought that by buying Weaver time with that island push, they would be able to get the caps back. But with the current tick rate, I mean, it's 729. This match is over. I mean, both of these mechs could drop dead. The entirety of Team Optic could drop dead. There's still just too many caps on the board, too many points on the board. And Mislinks Weaver will survive. But that cap advantage, that was everything. It was kinda over by the time they reached Sigma. Well fought by both teams. Incredible lerm damage by Sevronis there. 1,307. Papa Spud and a comfort pick with the Rifleman doing decent DACA damage. And on Black Pants Legion, the Mistlinks. Star Commander unsung. He is the unsung hero. I mean, he bought so much time for his team. Him and the other Mistlinks Weaver, they did a majority of the legwork of the cap work with almost 2 minutes of cap time between them, but especially Star Commander Unsung, he just kept so many mechs so busy for so long, just wasn't long enough for the team to, change the caps. Well fought. Great match, guys. Great match, as we will now transition to the third map, which will be Rubelite Oasis. Rubelite is one of those maps where anything can happen. It's great for trading, mid-range laser vomit, good for long-range trading, you can brawl push it, and of course, you can lerm it. It is definitely a lermable position. Be interesting to see. Optic says, and sorry. Oh, he feels dirty for picking the lerms, I'm guessing. But hey, it's a legitimate strategy, and it was very well executed. Sevronis over there, over 1,000 damage. I don't think he feels too sorry about it. I know I'd feel great with that kind of damage. I do apologize, guys. I will get the scoreboard updated promptly. It is currently 2-0 with Team Optic in the lead, as we are into round 3. For those of you guys just joining, it is currently 2 wins for Team Optic, 0 for Black Pants Legion so far. We are about to start round 3. Looks like there appears to be some issue with the cap scores showing. I will have to take a look at the overlays and play around with that. Oh, it was the scene transition. You guys were unable to see it. I know what went wrong. I know exactly what went wrong. If I'm on here, you guys would have seen the caps, but on here you don't. I guarantee that was it. I do apologize, guys, if you're just joining or you didn't catch it when I said it earlier. I am a little out of it, and I'm not the best caster in general. This is entirely volunteer stuff here, but unfortunately I did have some dental work done yesterday and slightly out of it. Been a little out of it since, to be quite frank. And I was working on my binds, and I thought I had the key binds fixed to switch between the maps. Unfortunately, it does appear that it didn't work that time. It did, I believe, work the first round, but it did not work on this one. Looks like one of them is now populating properly. It should show 2 wins for Team Optic, but it's only showing 1. Hopefully if I do this, that'll get that situated correctly. And hopefully for the next round, the scene transition, I'll double check it to make sure it actually goes through properly. I mean, when I do it on the keybinds here, it does look like it's doing when I check the stream manager, but You know, with the 5-minute delay, I don't find out until you guys yell at me in chat. That said, continue to yell at me, because if you don't yell at me, I quite frankly have no idea there's a problem. Because I kind of just do a lot of talking, and I watch the shooty robots walk around and kill each other. I mean, that's the primary thing I'm here for, is watching the shooty robots killing each other part. Okay, we have Team 1 locked going into Rubelite Oasis. One of the concerns here is that if you did the meta thing and did the mid-range laser vomit thing, it's one of the worst maps to do it on. Not because of positioning, just because it's hot. Rubelite Oasis is a very, very hot map. So you gotta kind of factor that into your choices for what you want to bring to the table. You know, maybe you would prefer a Mislinks with some machine guns versus a pure laser Arctic Cheetah or a pure laser Firestarter. You might want to bring a Firestarter Ember instead and have some machine guns to go with the small lasers to balance the heat load. Or you could just slap Override and say, I'm going to kill him before I cook myself. I personally do enjoy the latter. I'm perfectly happy to take the enemy out with me, slap that override, and just let myself cook in my own shorts. But, you know, if you want to play it the smart way, you would factor in the heat of the map into the mechs you pick. At least that's what I'm told is the smart thing to do by people that know a little bit more about this than I do, because I'm generally around here just to shoot things, and if I learn something in the process, that's always great. But I do enjoy the shooting things part. My favorite skills in the whole skill tree is cool down. You know, cool run's great. Heat management's great. Survival, structure, armor's great. Cool down. I want to shoot again. I want to do the shoot again. So, it looks like we got an interesting spread here. Possibly some fast movers to grab Theta quick by Team Optic. Team 2 is still making decisions. Ralphie No Pants has put everybody so far into Bravo and Charlie. I'm kind of curious if he's going to change that. I'm looking at it, kind of looking at it sideways, hoping for something different, but you know, maybe he has a plan. Maybe we're going to see Brawl push again by them and see AC-20s and LB-20s and whatnot. They did bring a nice push deck to Crimson Strait. They just never were able to close with Team Optic. If BPL did close with Team Optic, like when they capped Gamma, if they had pushed through and jumped on the Hunchback, could have been the difference in the world. Because Brawl decks kind of tear up Learn Boats pretty darn well. And so far, you know, 2 maps in a row. Mining, they brought Brawl. Crimson Strait, they brought Brawl. Rubelite is definitely a brawlable map. Every shelf, every high ground position has a ramp that you can get up. You can bring jump jets. It looks like we have the full team locked. We might be close to a launch. Team 2 locked like a red-headed stepchild under the stairs. Is that a Harry Potter reference or not? I'll let you guys be the decision makers on that. And we are now launching into round 3 of Team Optic SRoT versus Black Pants Legion of Division G of Blood League. This will be a quite decisive one, as Team Optic needs every point they can get their hands on, quite frankly, if they want to come out at Division G in first place. They currently are in second, I do believe, and they are definitely looking for every win they can get. Black Pants Legion is looking for blood, as they are currently down 2-0. Team Optic has won the first 2 rounds. We're going to fly through some caves here and take a look around. Apparently, Zauri has reached a decision. I don't know what they're deciding. Tacos are good. We do like tacos. Apparently something means looking out for bird poop. I'm not quite really looking for it. I heard that if it does land on me, it's good luck and good fun. Have luck is the call here. As the pilots are going to connect to the map and we'll see what they're going to bring to the table. Will it be a brawl in the high ground here? Will it be a theta contest? Or are we going to see some sneaky back shenanigans coming around the hill here to take the Kappa? We have seen that before, the background Kappa strat. Okay, let's get that up, get that up. Okay, Ralphie No Pants in a Charger once again. He does seem to prefer that mech in another Charger. They are really liking the Charger. We have Atros bringing small pulse lasers and SRMs with Artemis. Star Commander again in the Mistlinks appears to be a comfort pick for him and Weaver both. And as we switch through with a Hedgehog is on the Crusader, so another comfort. We have Zauri running a Mistlinks. They are countering Mistlinks with Mistlinks. Papa Spud in the big boy King Crab. He saw the Rifleman, enjoyed his DACA, and said, I want more and I want it bigger. Optic Seagull also in another comfort pick. The UAC-2s did him very well on lighting, so they're bringing it again. Savronis bringing a Marauder 2 Alpha, UAC-5s and UAC-2s. It looks like mid-range DACA trade is the call here. The Griffin, ooh, speedy MRMs, 4 MRM-10s. That is so hard to say. It is a preference over an MRM-40 though, because you can shoot it faster and it does a little splat. MRM-10s are unlike the rest of the MRMs in that I do believe they have a bit of missile spread similar to an SRMs, but they do shoot in one volley. Cypher is running for his life as he's currently already been tagged by the enemy, and they have taken Kappa, or they should be taking Kappa here. I presume they're going to take Kappa here. Yes, there we go. So, 2 caps to 2 caps. What is the call here? Team Optic is going to have to make a decision. They aren't really that good for pushing. If anything's going to push, though, it would be the Summoner. He has the missiles for it. He gets scouted by Ralphie No Pants, but Ralphie has the rest of his team to back him up here. That Summoner needs to get out of dodge and quick. The Griffin is rotating over, and the King Crab and Marauder are going to have eyes on target. They're going to bring the pain. The DACA is going to force PPL back here. I don't see them continuing that push, not into that much DACA. So they're going to fall back. Meanwhile, Team Optic has secured Theta. So now they are maintaining a 3-cap lead. BPL has done a full transition. They're going to go underneath, wrap around. Maybe this will be their push on a Theta, and that call appears to be it. Optic Seagull's going to punish them for the transition, but he's going to have to fall back now as this is way too many mechs for one man to fight. That said, once they have gone over this hill, the DACA will reign. It does appear that Cyborg does have the positioning here with the high ground. Fronting is getting it as well to rain the missiles in. Optic is kind of brawl range with these UACs, but he doesn't care. Zauri is spotted. It looks like BPL has taken notice that he is the man on his own. However, Fronting and Cyborg are punishing the Charger on the backlines while the lights of BPL are chasing down the Mistlinks. We are missing a mech though. Where's Cypher? Cypher is off capping Sigma. Interesting. So while this fight is happening, Team Optic is voluntarily taking a 6-7 engagement to secure a 4-cap lead. So they're taking a 3-cap lead. They're already ahead in points, ahead in caps, and they're going to make it 4-1. Interesting enough, though, the Charger has been punished. Zauri still not down. This is 2 Mistlinks versus 1 Mistlinks, and the man is still standing. The Charger has taken a lot of punish. He is a focused target, and he has been finished by the DACA from Optic Seagull. Star Commander is playing the attention grabber role. He seems to have gotten the attention of all of Team Optic as he has just flown over everybody's heads, does a bounce off the pillar, gets up onto the high ground. This man is dancing, but the River Aces goes down. Ralphie No Pants goes down. Even with all the attention on the Mistlinks, the Rangers refocused. They let him be and just focused on the rest of BPL. I think I was focused more on him than anything else. It was kind of cool seeing him jump over. The man was flying. Weaver's coming in to contest him. Ooh, I'm sorry, Weaver. Before I can even get it out. Zauri finally chased down Star Commander. And then it looks like this one's going to go Team Optic as well, as the Crusaders the last man standing. That was a heck of a fight. I think Team Optic felt so comfy taking that fight, knowing that even if they lost it, they would have won on caps just by the positioning there and the time it would have been required for BPL to get the rest of the caps, unless they were completely wiped. Interesting to see what the DACA did. Brawl DACA, close range DACA by Optic Seagull, 836, excellent. Papa Spud and the King Crab, 797, excellent. The Crusader was able to get the damage in this time. However, it feels like the Chargers just didn't get the damage where they needed it. They didn't get the time on target. There was a lot of shuffling, probably a lot of mechs in the way there with that kind of wraparound underneath push. The mislinks, they tried, they got the attention, they just couldn't quite put Zauri down as they chased him and he danced away. Well fought by both teams. And thank you for the excellent carnage. We are now going to switch back to the lobby as we are going to prepare for round 4. For those of you just joining, it is Division G of the Blood League. This will be round 4 of Team Optic versus the Black Pants Legion, as we are now going to transition into the Tourmaline Desert. Ironically, the Tourmaline Desert is cooler than Rubelite, I do believe, Rubelite being the hottest map of this roundup. It's mean we had you right where you wanted us. We had you right where you wanted us. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. So that is now making 3 consistent brawl decks by BPL. They need to get their brawlers on target. They need to get them that time on target, in range, and on target. It seems to be a little bit too much shuffling going on in their transitions. If they could just close and get in there, they could really punish Team Optic for their positioning. But it seems like every angle scouted. Team Optic's been doing a good job of watching their transitions and keeping an eye on them after they had taken, after BPL had taken Kappa. The Summoner by Team Optic was ready to scout their transition, and the second a mech appeared, he's already taken missiles and DACAs right on the chin. I wonder how it's going to play out here in Tourmaline Desert. Tourmaline Desert, of course, being another hot map, not as hot as the Rubelite Oasis, but it is another rangy-ish, rangy-esque kind of map. It is definitely pushable with the Brawl deck. It's not as easy, but it's definitely doable. Oh, side swap. Okay, hopefully nobody was doing anything important. They're all ready for the side swap. I'm glad somebody said something because I had forgotten, and that reminds me, as I'm reminding myself, that I do need to switch it for the scoreboard as well. So bear with me a moment, folks, as I get that all situated. And hopefully I get that done as well, so the scoreboard transition will work as well, and hopefully the scene transition continues to work as well, so you guys can see the cap score at the top. Please let me know again if there's any issues with seeing the cap score on the top. And hopefully they're all good to go. Cypher asking me if he needs to melt the rock again. In a previous match, he had decided a particular rock needed to die, and, well, gosh darn it, he had melted that rock. Consider it melted. Ralphie No Pants seems interested. Maybe he's concerned with the rock's color as whether or not it'll be a replacement pair of pants. Or maybe he wants to eat it, considering apparently Optic Seagull stole his fries earlier. He does prefer the red rocks, though, apparently. I don't know if any red rocks are in Tourmaline Desert, but he's more than welcome to look for them. It is very much a rocky terrain. One of the biggest issues with Tourmaline Desert is the terrain. There's a lot of what we call invisible walls on this map. A lot of the weird little rock formations, it kind of has like this barrier that you can't shoot through. You kind of gotta just keep an eye on the ticker-like symbol next to your crosshairs. It'll have a set of digits that'll be the indicator of the current range of whatever you're looking at, and you kind of got to float that over the terrain and see when the number increases to judge whether or not you're hitting an invisible wall. And if you got a mech with really low mounts, like if you got lasers in the fist of a hatchet man, for example, it might not be able to shoot over that wall, or it might hit an invisible wall even if it looks like you can shoot. So you do want to be mindful of that kind of thing as you transition around the Tourmaline Desert, and as you're making your pokes and your peeking corners or pop-tart in a hill. You gotta be mindful of these factors on this map. There's a lot of good sniping positions across the board as well. You know, you got the Gulf 6 high, you got the 5-6 high on top of the pillars, the rock formation pillars. You got the Echo 3 sectors. There's a lot of ways to get good lines on Theta. I'm kind of curious if we're going to see the same kind of thing from Team Optic, whether or not they're going to, you know, prioritize the caps like they did, go for immediate 3 cap and then sneak someone around. Are they going to try to secure Gamma and Sigma? Because this is one of those maps where a lot of the caps are just really far off. This is not the easiest of cap maps, and it's very easy to get caught up in the sniper trades, to get caught up in your rotation and your fights, and not realize that the other team already has 400 or 500 points on the board. And with how far away some of these caps are, if you don't have a light mech still alive, it can be over and over fast. Okay, so we have Team 1 locked. Team locked. Team 1's locked. He said Team 1 locked like the guy on Main Street who kept playing the Eurobeat version of the song about the horse bit. Okay, 3. Got it. We are good to go. Okay, I think a player readied and unreadied there after the T2 locked was called. That'll be for the refs to decide. That is up to the refs. Unfortunate, might have been a misclick there. Okay, it looks like there was a bit of a mix-up there. They switched to mech after already locking, which is against tournament rules and regulations of the Blood League. Ralphie stating for Black Pants Legions he doesn't appear to have any issue with that transitioning, as Team Optic has switched back to the mechs they were in prior to locking. That said, it was against the rules. That is up to the refs to decide the outcome of, because I'm not a ref. I'm just a caster, guys. But you know, just putting it out there for the record, that is against the rules. BPL did state they didn't have an issue with it, but we will see what the decision is by the refs moving forward. So, here we are. Tourmaline Desert. Match 4 of round 5, or would you call it round 4 of match 5? Anyway, it is currently 3-0. Team Optic leading against Black Pants Legion. We have Papa Spud. And a King Crab with Daka. We have Cypher, again with small pulse lasers in a light mech position. Night Gear is again, however, this time they have Savronis. And he is utilizing Gauss Laser Vomit. Interesting. Cyborg Perfect in a mid-range Laser Vomit. Excellent choice there, if I do say so myself. And to round things out, we have Hunting and a Vapor Eagle with ERPPCs and a Bloodass Rancor. UAC 5, UAC 10, and medium lasers. Switching over to Black Pants Legion, we have Crusaders once again. They love that mech. And another Charger. It looks like they're going to go for the Brawl again. Weaver does have a ERPPC Shadow Count, though. He is scouting Theta. It looks like they're going to get ready to push it, as the Crusaders are pushing up now. The Viper is there. And I'm going to switch to high ground so we can get a better look at things. So, Black Pants. They have Epsilon, they have Theta, they have one going Gamma. This time it looks like they're going to have the 3-cap advantage. Rangers have yet to get Sigma. They have sent a mech to Sigma, but currently they're only holding a natural spawn of Kappa. Cyborg Perfect, and the Timberwolf is transitioning. It looks like he is trying to get some kind of angle on the BPL forces. Extreme long-range trading here across the map. I'm trying to zoom out so we can see all of it, guys. Maybe if we do that, we can see a bit more. Because there's some really long-range trading here, and I want to be able to keep the mech and player names on the screen. As Zari is now trading across the entirety of the map. It is very hard to keep everybody's names while keeping those ranges, as it is the Shadowcat that he's trading with, piloted by Weaver. So they are going to be doing actually kinda somewhat okay damage. It is outside of optimal at that distance, but it is not the worst. As we pull it up on the grids, and I don't have the grids up, so you're going to have to forgive me on that. And this is what I get for pressing buttons. I was trying to get it up, guys. I'm sorry. There we go. We got the score back up. I was trying to see if I could get the grids pulled up. I apologize that we lost it there for a bit. This is not looking good, though. BPL has snuck in and grabbed Kappa. Zari would be the one from Team Optic to get an angle on that, but it's mean. What a mean mech. He snuck in there, grabbed Kappa out for nothing taken. Team Optic is going to secure Theta here as the Shadowcat push forward, I'm guessing. Or he's just taking too much damage trying to contest it. Maybe that's why. Because the Shadowcat has the angles here. It can cover Theta. And he shot the king crab in the back. Papa Spud turns around like, what the heck? And he gives him some DACA for his trouble.
Kappa is under enemy control.
Interesting, the blood asp is 91% but orange. What had happened to you, sir? Oh, he's headshotted. That's why. I was wondering why he still has so much health, but his color changed there. Ooh, Weaver's really taking too much. He may need to pick a different angle there, as they seem to have his number. Papa Spud's just staring at him with all that DACA. The Crusaders have yet to really pick an angle. Arty strikes are going out. The Charger looks like it wanted to get a stab in here, but he doesn't have anybody to back him up. It looks like he thinks twice. Cypher will be scouting around the back end of the Black Pants Legion as they transition around. It looks like Team Optic is comfy with this. They have resecured Kappa. They now have the 3-cap lead. BPL, it looks like the call's been made to push the Blood Asp. Crusaders getting on target. Chargers getting on target. Optic can go down here if they get these Chargers in there. Get both Crusaders in. Get both Chargers in. You can finish that. Oh, they're pulling back. Oh, they could have finished them. Wow, the Charger took a little bit too much damage, and they just couldn't secure the kill. I think if they all just went in there, they would have finished off that Blood Asp. I mean, if they just splash his cockpit lightly, the man will drop. Oh, the Crusader's been spotted. He wasn't down with the rest of his team. However, the King Crab's now out in the open as the rest of the Black Pants Legion pours in. Headshot goes down to Optic Seagull, but Papa Spud is now going to drop. They have taken out the King Crab. They could finish off the Blood Asp here too. They just need more men on target. Optic down 43%. Ralphie No Pants down 55%. Optic 23%. He can be dropped here, and the leg is secured. Now they're on to Cyborg Perfect in the Timberwolf. He is fighting the entirety of Black Pants Legion by himself here. We do have some support from long range, but Cyborg Perfect is traded his life. He did trade his life for time, though. Because while this is all going on, Caps have transitioned. Sky Rangers have Gamma, Theta, Kappa, but now we have Epsilon being capped. So they have effectively traded their life for time. Going into the match, I did mention that how at the start of these engagements, you might not realize that your opponents could be at, 500, 600 match score. And while it isn't 500, they are closing in on it. Zauri, ooh, sketchy territory. He may be noticed here. Its mean may catch him by surprise. Meanwhile, Savronis is just farming away, preventing the Theta Cap, using that high ground position there. Basically, all he has to do is continuously arty and distract. Did the man lose a leg? My man, you've lost your leg. That is not good for a Charger. That's one of the faster mechs just because, it's a Charger. And you need all these fast-moving mechs to get the points. And Prunting secures the Crusader kill. The man was legged, couldn't do much, and now Atros is just stuck here. What do they have? What can they do? Smeen's got to do the work here. He's got to find all the caps. He's got to find all the caps. There's Shadowcat. Ooh, he's getting Epsilon. Prunting's here, though. That Vapor Eagle, he could punish this. Now he knows he's there. Okay, they're going to trade. They're going to trade PPCs. They're playing Ring Around the Rosy, taking the high ground to try to keep an eye on everything else. Arty Strikes are traded on the spine near Theta. It looks like the Sky Rangers are positioning around to finish off the Charger as the Vapor Eagle and Shadowcat are continuing the dance. The PPC dance and Ring Around the Rosy. Its mean should be capping Gamma at this point in time. It looks like the Charger's still alive. PPC is once again traded back and forth as the Ring Around the Rosy does continue. The Shadowcat's going to take a high ground peek and gets punished by hunting for it. He was ready and waiting. That should give the Sky Rangers Epsilon as well. The Charger, I don't know how this man is still alive. This man has been punished by so many different mechs in so many different directions. And Savronis is just going to sit here, the Night Gear, and hold. Weaver threatening with a 360 no-scope, which is always beautiful to see. The poor Charger, it really can't do much here. If he tries to walk around, it's not going to be fast enough a transition. And there's no way he can get in range of the Night Gear with the small lasers. Where did its mean go? There he is. He's going for Epsilon. I think it's just going to be too little too late, though. That's the thing with this map. Once you take the fight, you gotta mind the clock as you're taking the fight. It's one of the hardest things about Tourmaline Desert. Because when that fight starts, it's very easy to not realize how many caps and how much time has slipped away. They did excellent. I mean, they absolutely tore apart the Timberwolf, the Blood Asps, the King Crab. It was a decently quick leg kill on the King Crab. The Crusaders and the Chargers were finally able to get the damage on target. Shadowcat doing 585 by Weaver. Ardos surviving until the end in that Charger by a miracle in the skin on his teeth. But the Sky Rangers, they were able to just position themselves to watch the caps, to sell their lives dearly. And Savronis, 690 damage, just holding down Theta, not letting anyone take it. Well fought, guys. Well fought. Okay, let's do a scene transition and let's get our scoreboards updated as we will now be going into HPG. For round 5 of Team Optic versus Black Pants Legion of Division G Blood League Tournament, we will now be switching into HPG. You know, this is another map where Crusaders are great. Crusaders are great for pop-tarting. They're great for brawling in the basement. You know, some of their other picks like the Shadowcat and Mistlinks, they have the jump jets to get up on the wall. Shadowcat with PPCs has the range to trade. I mean, a lot of the picks by Black Pants Legion are very suitable for this map. That said, Team Optic has proven a deft hand with the DACA. And if they got, you know, another Night Gear on the wall, that could be punishing. I wonder if they're going to make any adjustments here. I mean, Black Pants Legion, they're continuously bringing the Chargers, continuously bringing the Satyrs. They know what they need to do. I mean, they showed it on Tourmaline Desert, that they got to get in there, and they got to take those mechs out. Hopefully this time around that they can get into the positions they need to get the damage on target, and with a hustle to it. Because the cap time, this is conquest. It's not just by kills. The cap time is key here. The clock is always ticking. And the more you have that ticking in your favor, the better it is, because then it's up to the enemy to make a move. Cypher is called No Bananas. Maybe he missed his rock shot earlier, but oh, no banana peels. I didn't think it was a banana peel. Those of you who have been following these matches in Division G last week, Team Optic had some issues. Cypher's apparently referencing the banana peels. I was blaming a faulty mech technician. What you got to understand is the mechs were on the wall, and they slipped and done fell right off the wall. Oil slicks by Ralphie No Pants, absolutely correct. Oil slick issues, maybe some leaky coolant fluid. But yeah, there was a bunch of mechs that just fell out of bounds. And they all went poof. So hopefully we won't have anybody dying to out of bounds on this match, but more will be revealed as we continue on. Hopefully, it'll be a nice good old brawl in the basement. I like basement brawls. Is it the best strategy? Probably not. Is it fun to watch? Is it fun to be in? For me, that's an absolutely. I love me a good basement fight. Just last night, it was this wonderful evening with a Crusader in the basement. And Black Pants Legion has been piloting Crusaders. I wouldn't mind seeing them brawling in the basement. Those Chargers also can go in the basement. Get a lot of good damage on target. They can't really get out of your range if they're stuck with you in a basement. You know, if that's the tool you're going to use it in the right place. That'd be a good spot for it, I would assume. And they're now getting their lances sorted. Looks like Team 2 is sorted kind of ahead of time here. Maybe they'll do some last minute changes after their little mix up with the ready unready the previous round. Hopefully they have everything sorted out here. Team 1 doing some final touches here, polishing things off, making sure all the knobs and doodads on their mechs are nice and shiny, making sure there's no leaky oil slicks, cleaning up any missed banana peels left over in the cockpit. I don't know why, but I get a feeling Ralphie would leave a banana peel in his cockpit. Hopefully there's none left on the walls. For anyone who was watching the other stream and they're just joining now, this is Blood League. This is Division G, Team Optic of Sky Rangers of Terra, SRoT, versus BPL, the Black Pants Legion. This is the final match of today's roundup. It is currently 4 wins. However, the previous round may be disputed based on the reference by the referees, as Team Optic did have a little mix-up here when readying up. They had unready switch mech switchbacks back after lock-in. So it could be currently 3 Optic, Team Optic, and 1 BPL, depending on the referee's decision. But functionally, they did win all 4 drops. So this will be the final drop. Team Optic is going to be looking for every win they can get here, as they are very closely behind the Hunters of the Moonlands. Hunters of the Moonlands has already played their matches and is currently sitting at 18 points for Division G of Blood League, and Team Optic SRoT is trailing them at 14 points. Team 1 locked up like the week after the MRE and Cheese Festival. I don't know if that's like a Taco Bell weekend, but it does not sound pleasant. Team 2 locked and ready. We are good to go for an HPG of the final round, and we are launched. Kinda curious once again, are they going to stick to their guns? They've shown that they can execute it. That King Crab and Bloodass went down fast. They finished off the Timberwolf. They can get those Chargers where they need to be. If they can get those Crusaders where they need to be, they could definitely punish Team Optic here. Hopefully, we won't have any missed 360 no-scope shots. If they do attempt it, hopefully they will land them. For those of you joining and are not too familiar with the called positions I was regarding earlier, this area wrapping around the entirety of the middle is referred to as the walls. These are the ramps, basement ramp, outside ramp. This thing is called the spine across the board. And down here is the basement we were referencing earlier. We are now going to get to the mechs and see what everybody's piloting. We have Zauri utilizing small pulse lasers once again in an Osiris this time. We have Hunting in a Shadow Cat. It does have the laser vomit builds though. Interesting that it's mid-range laser vomit and not the PPCs this time. We have Cyborg also doing the same. We have SRoT with a lot of ER large lasers. That man is looking to burn things at a distance. And we have a Corsair by Papa Spud. Interesting. More DACA of a different variety. Maybe he likes the mounts better on the Corsair versus the King Crab. Night Gear by Optic Seagull, once again in the comfy DACA. Atros is coming in with a Charger with the small lasers once again. We have Star Commander Unsung. The man's not in a Mislinks. He is bringing all the ER large lasers in a Marauder too. The man was asked, do you like large lasers? He said yes. How many large lasers do you want? The man's answer was all.
Artillery strike online.
And we have the Tuna Fish, the most tactical, utilizing a Viper, excellent wall jumping, and a Phoenix Hawk 7S. Small lasers and snubs, I approve. I love that build. Ralphie No Pants going to round things out as another Brawler with the small lasers and the Crusader once again picked. And we have Weaver, no longer in a Mislinks. This man is bringing the pain. He is currently piloting the Crusader. And Iden Desir will be the Mislinks pilot, so they're going to stick to what they knew, relatively so, but this time with some minor alterations. Let's get all the lovely tactical feed buttons up and see if I can get that right. You know, one of these days I'll memorize which button does what. Today is not that day. Interesting. They are going to push around and go to Steel Sigma, I'm presuming, with this. They're going to leave the Marauder here with its range advantage. Has it scouted Zauri on the wall, though? It looks like from his positioning that he has. The Mislinks was kind of sticking around to help him, but now is fully transitioned. They are getting spotted. The Mislinks is unknown. Meanwhile, Cypher has grabbed Theta. SRoT is punishing them for this transition. He is not denying the cat, though. He's getting a lot of damage with Papa Spud onto this Phoenix Hawk, but they are not preventing the cap.
We've captured resource point Sigma.
Papa Spud's getting hit by the Marauder from behind, so he's got to switch and watch his back here. Meanwhile, BPL is going to look to take the basement. It is still 3-2, however, interesting transition as Team Optic has Kappa Theta Epsilon, but now they have lost Theta. Long-range trades, more like long-range punishment here, as the Phoenix Hawk is just very much pinned behind this little building here. BPL's got to make a transition here. They're coming up the ramp. It looks like the call has been made. They're going to push Papa Spud. They are going to slam into him. The Mislinks is being sneaky. He could jump up on the wall from behind. Oh, this could be devastating. The rest of the Rangers aren't in position for this. SRoT is the only one that can help, and Papa Spud drops off the wall. SRoT is up there by himself. He has ER large lasers. He cannot contest this brawl fight. Papa Spud's looking for the angles, but there's no angles to be had from the low ground there. The Phoenix Hawk that was injured earlier is wrapped around, and SRoT falls down the other side. Kind of technically right to fall down this side because you do have backup from the rest of your team there, but now Papa Spud's all alone. And it looks like BPL realizes this. SRoT says nobody kills me but me. Yeah, way to go out. Only you kill you. Kind of weird that they're choosing to drop down and then walk around. They could have just dropped down on both sides and hit him from the front and the back, but they're just going to drop down this side and then walk around him and shoot him in the back. Either way, the man's shot. Well executed. So it is now still a Team Optic cap lead, though. And Zauri has secured the kill on Star Commander down here. So they did punish. They said, you take our bigs, okay, we're going to take your bigs. And Optic Seagull has to be careful here. If he gets scouted, he is all on his own. Is he going to look to defend Kappa, or is he going to bail? Two ships passing in the night. Zari goes up, and Atros is underneath down in the basement. Maybe they saw each other on seismic, maybe not. More will be revealed, but BPL looks like they're transitioning. Zari drops in. Maybe he noticed him. Yeah, he's going straight for him. The Osiris is aggressive. Oh my god, the ankle biter is chewing on you, sir. What do you do? And he just disappears. Atros is looking for him still, but Zauri is up and out of there. The rest of BPL could catch him, but it looks like they're all looking to transition towards Theta. And why not? They have the 3-cap lead. Although Team Optic still has the point advantage, that will be neutralized here shortly. Zauri's tickling their entire team from behind. Meanwhile, BPL seems to be all caught up on Optic Seagull here as the Mistlinks is going in. But the Viper fell out of bounds. Oh, sir, you had to jump up over there. What a way to go. Damn oil slicks and banana peels. Fronting's bouncing around the Mistlinks and keeping eyes on target. He's got to be careful here, but he does have Optic Seagull to back him up, and Cypher's going to wrap around as well. The rest of BPL is still tied up with Zauri and his Osiris. Zauri finally goes down, but he does trade himself for Weaver. That said, the clock is ticking, guys. BPL, they still have 3 caps. This clock is very much still ticking in their favor. Team Optic, though, looks like they will take Kappa and swing things back into their favor. The clock is ticking. These points are close. Fronting is trading with Eisen Desir. He's got to be careful, though. He could get baited, but the rest of BPL is in the basement. If they caught him. The Mistlinks is caught. Artis was coming in the Charger to help, but the Mistlinks was high ground, and the Charger's not going to get there in time. It looks like Optic Seagull was getting an angle on that basement door. Fronting is right above it. I thought for a second Team Optic was shooting each other. That Optic was shooting Fronting. Wouldn't be the first time the Sky Ranger shot another Sky Ranger, I can tell you that much. But here we are. What's it gonna be? The clock is ticking. But now, Team Optic's up to 4 caps. And BPL is still in this basement. Every time they poke this window, Optic's just raining death. They got to make a move, and right here is not the move. This is not the place to be. Like, you've secured Theta. You need caps. You got to get out there. You have absolutely got to get out there. Unfortunately, the Chargers don't only mech with both legs. They send out both leg mechs. Are they sending them to their doom to give their Charger time to go elsewhere? I think that may have been the call. What an honorable sacrifice. Hedgehog and Ralphie, I salute thee. You are attempting to distract the enemy to give your teammate time to go run in cap. And they will sacrifice their lives, but the guy who's running the cap, Andros, he was spotted by Cypher. Team Optic knows exactly what's going on, and they have finished him off. GG's, well fought, guys. And that'll be it, as Team Optic has secured it. We have a final score across the board. Well done, well fought. Taking a look at the match scores, it does appear that the DACA was the damage. 737 by Papa Spud, 677 by Optic Seagull, as they were securing their shots. The Osiris ran all around, all over the place. Plenty of cap time, but still managed to do 465. The Viper was getting his hits in. Interesting. I was beginning to think that the Viper wasn't too strong for HBG, but he did decent damage there. It looks like what they needed to get more out of was the Marauder pick. They, unfortunately, with their transition, they kind of left him alone. And while they were able to capitalize on some of the mispositioning and mechs falling off the walls, unfortunately, they did have a mech fall out of bounds. And while their transitions were happening and they were fighting and taking out SRoT, their Marauder was taken by Team Optic's Lights. Either way, excellent stuff, guys. Great matches. Excellent to see more people getting involved in MechWarrior Online, more people getting involved in competition, and just all around thank you, and glad to be here and to have casted this wonderful Blood League Division G match. And that'll be all from me for today, guys. Thank you for coming, thank you for showing up, and big thank you to all the players who made this happen. Take care.
Super cherry CT and torso and arm. You ain't going down.
Big pack here from Eon. So obviously they know Eon. Oh, Jesus! Can MJ12 pull something off here? Furia finishes off Growler. Underwolf is about to go down. He's down, yeah. Furia finishes him off as well. Pretty Rex. One touch on the CT there. I think Dario's been legged though. That's bad. Oh, Data just gets CT. 1, 2. Oh.
Yeah, it's got very weak leg here. Jesus. But and that's it for him. Kid 4 is getting murdered by those frickin' streaks, and he's down.
Yeah, what eyes?
None of which are under 50 tons. So he is severely outmatched.
Oh, they've realised he's there now. They should be able to finish him off. Yep, Frio goes down. Yep, now John McFuzzy goes down. RJF are like, well, we got the win. We don't really need it. We got
There we
a
go.
captain. Yep, they're diving him and he's dead.
Down to 59%.
Oh, taking on Stranger coming.
No one's coming to help him. This little...
Doing Honorwolf doing a fine job.
Oh! Draven loses a leg and is down. It's down.
Lost the torso. Ah.
This is just a straight up scrum.
Doozle on him. Sinjo in the Nightgyre. Oh, he's legged and going down.
Biscuit the javelin is gonna...
Honorwolf getting legged. Just Draven Seabiscuit left. Yeah, Phoenix
Leg.
Legion smartly going for legs. Hard legs on everyone.
There right now. Raven Colt just eats a strike.
Say that's finally.
You've got Fury with the peach in the back. He did a long drop from the heavens. Oh no! Fury's still alive.
It's 137.
Just knocked the down. Goes down. That's it.
Yep, Admiral Korean Jesus standing there on Gamma. Let him chill. Admiral Korean Jesus knows he's got a nice Admiral Korean Jesus taking it from both sides. Bowser on one, Stim on the other. He's getting out of there. He's down to 64. He's running around here. He's got Stim chasing him. And down he goes.
% from a single strike. Lermgod pushing in now. Dario gets Terminator. Dario finishing him off there. Lermgod finishes off. The Osiris is nearly dead. I think White Ace is the same deal. Yeah, he's there and he stripped him. I think he stripped him, or at least half of him at least. Maybe he's jammed. He must be. Oh, Red goes. Oh, Lizzie just ate a huge strike and his Hardock and Daenerys are not going to. That shot was. David's taken a piece of Lizzie there. Lost all his.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, just my cars are grabbing Gamma, but and look at how low Armbearing is.
Super cherry CT and torso and arm. You ain't going down.
Big pack here from Eon. So obviously they know Eon. Oh, Jesus! Can MJ12 pull something off here? Furia finishes off Growler. Underwolf is about to go down. He's down, yeah. Furia finishes him off as well. Pretty Rex. One touch on the CT there. I think Dario's been legged though. That's bad. Oh, Data just gets CT. 1, 2. Oh.
Yeah, it's got very weak leg here. Jesus. But and that's it for him. Kid 4 is getting murdered by those frickin' streaks, and he's down.
Yeah, what eyes?
tons. So he is severely outmatched.
Oh, they've realised he's there now. They should be able to finish him off. Yep, Frio goes down.
Yep.
Now John McFuzzy goes down. RJF are like, well, we got the win. We don't really need it. We got
There we
a
go.
cap.
Deserves to Nick.
Yep, they're diving him and he's dead.
Down to 59%.
Oh, taking on Stranger coming. Dude,
No one's coming to help him. This little
doing Honor of doing a fine job.
Draven loses a leg.